Welcome back to the CANDYcolored studio.
And welcome to the Creative Heroine podcast. My name is Jessica Libor, and I'm here with.
Katrina Berg, and we're so happy to be with you this morning. We have something really special to share with you. Jessica, tell my audience a little bit about you.
My name is Jessica Libor, and I am the host of the Creative Heroine podcast, but I'm also a full time artist, and I also coach artists. And I also have a gallery, so I do a lot of things, but they're all within the arts, and I really love what I do. And Katrina and I were in a mastermind for a few years together, and so we got to know each other, and we have decided to do a project together that we are launching. And so that is why we are kind of combining our geniuses, and we are doing this dual episode so that you can get a feel for what our project is and how to be a part of it.
Yes, and I'm Katrina Berg, and I live in Utah, which is on
Mhm.
the other side of the country from Jessica. But
Yes.
I'm an oil painter, and I paint in candy colored oil. I've got 5 kids, and like Jessica, I have a podcast, but I'm also really focused on creating and helping others with their businesses. So, a little bit, we want to invite you today to be part of our residency mastermind. And last fall, I was kind of looking. Every once in a while you'll get these emails about a residency in France or Italy or just these fun opportunities to do as artists. And both Jessica and I have had opportunities to create abroad and just away from home. And we just kept thinking about I kept thinking like, I want to do something. And so I contacted Jessica. And the more we talked about it, our experiences, the more we realized that we wanted something more. And so we brainstormed and we got all these ideas together. We realized that nothing existed with what the kind of a trip that we wanted to do. And so we decided we might as well just do it ourselves.
Yeah. It's been really fun planning it with you. Yeah, I've been wanting to kind of create a residency for a long time. It's been an idea, but different life circumstances, different paths will lead you along the way, and just the time hasn't been right until now. Um, and and yeah, I've had this idea, and Katrina shares a similar vision of creating this week full of inspiration and creativity, but also like strategic business advice for full time for artists, for professional female artists. And so it's really something very tailored and very specific um, to professional artists or artists on the way to becoming professional who are really passionate about growing their business as an artist and really wanting more for themselves. So it's for people who do have some ambition in the arts, like as an artist. And but not only that, this is also, it's not completely going to be just focused on your business aspect and like your strategy for being an artist. We're also going to have all these magical experiences, and we're going to be going places that will really influence your inspiration in your art career. We're going to be, sketching at farms, we're going to be drawing horses. We're going to be drawing from the costumed model, being out in these beautiful gardens in all the splendor of April's blossoms. We're going to be seeing world class art at different museums. So we have so many cool things planned for this retreat. And it's really meant to be like a holistic look at your art career, to both encourage you, um, and to give you the tools to really thrive and move forward into the next year as somebody who's really empowered and inspired.
Absolutely. And as we talked about all these wonderful activities that we wanted to do, like it just came so quickly.
Mhm.
Everything fell into place. And we kind of started planning this during the holidays. And I kept saying to Jessica, don't worry, don't worry. If it's meant to be, it's all going to fall into place. And when we finally sat down and started planning things, everything just jumped out. We have so many exciting things that we want to do with the women in this group, and we're just so excited. Now, we just want to let you know there's only 8 spots just because the setting that we're going to be is really special, but we will not have room for a ton of people. So it will be a very intimate group. This will be a group that you will be able to connect with on a regular basis, but you'll only be kind of responsible or you're really going to dedicate yourself to that week that we spend together.
Mhm.
And going back to the beautiful vision that you started to talk about, Jessica, let's talk a little bit more about the Raphaelite community, and then also the keystone painting that you discovered or you love that we thought would be a perfect theme for this retreat.
Yeah, yeah. So, in just thinking about like the the aesthetic and like something to kind of like anchor the aesthetic and the inspiration for the mood of the week, which is only actually five days. Is it 5 days? Yeah, it's five
Yeah.
days. So it's only 5 days, not like a full week. But we were looking at different paintings, and there's this one painting called Gentle Spring by Frederick Sandys, and it is a gorgeous painting painted in the 1800s, and it's of a woman who personifies spring, and she has this beautiful white dress on, like edged with blue, and she has all of these spring blossoms that she's holding in her dress, and then they're also growing at her feet, and beyond her is this beautiful vista, and half of it is like storm clouds and the other half is like going into lightness, and there's also a rainbow kind of like over her head, and it is just the most like dreamy beautiful painting, but it really personifies spring, and it's painted in such a surreal and excellent way that it I just found it really inspiring, and so did Katrina, and it's a painting of a woman, and I just feel like it really kind of like encapsulates like the mood that we want to set, because of the excellence of the painting and because of just the mood of it as well for spring. And it's going to be like a spring retreat. So yeah, that's kind of our keystone painting. And the other thing is, this was painted by an artist who was part of the Pre-Raphaelites, and the Pre-Raphaelites were a group of artists that existed in the 1800s from England, and they were a very tight knit group of artists who really were inspired to paint legends and stories, and also took so much inspiration from nature. Like they really had like such a firm philosophy around painting from nature, and we're going to be spending a lot of time in nature at this retreat. And also the tight knit group of the Pre-Raphaelites is kind of an inspiration for us as well, because they really helped each other in their careers, and they just really helped each other. The opportunities that they gave each other and the way that they spoke to each other, um, to give feedback on their paintings and their projects. It's just a very tight knit, close group of artists who were all helping each other. And so that also was such an inspiration for us as well, to bring that into the fold. Plus, it's just a beautiful painting, and it kind of has like an old world aesthetic, which we're also kind of going for. Um, yeah, and so, did you want to add anything to that before I talk about the setting?
Sure. Yeah. Well, one of the reasons why I love that painting so much is that it reminds me about new beginnings and rebirth. And
Mm,
spring is such a beautiful time to let us kind of let go of old things and emerge and really become the people that we want to become. And just like Jessica, you described how this community, that they were so supportive of one another and they really believed in helping one another just become their best selves and become their best painters and creators. And so I love that. And then also, do you want to tell them the title of our
of the
retreat,
retreat?
because
Oh
that
yeah,
ties it all in together?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So the title of the retreat is the nature of creation, artistic awakening. So it's like the nature of creation colon artistic awakening, and that's the idea of the retreat. And so yeah, there's so much to that idea. So nature is going to be a big part of our experience at the retreat, and then creation. So we're looking at our own creation processes and what is the nature of creation like. So so, like, what are the different processes that lead to our best creation and how to facilitate that? Um, and it also has like a spiritual aspect to it as well, which we're going to incorporate some spirituality. And then the artistic awakening, we want you to come away like really, really awakened and just filled up so that you go back to your own lives and you feel really encouraged and kind of like buoyed up so that you are going full force into your creative aspects of whatever you're doing as an artist, and you just feel like so full of life. So we want that awakening experience for you. So yeah, that's the idea behind the retreat for sure. um,
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. And like Jessica already said, this is for professional and established women artists. But of course, we're going to meet you wherever you're at. As a group, we're going to support each other. And I think it'll be so beautiful also because the setting that we're going to be is really special. Do you want to tell them about the setting, Jessica?
Yeah. So the setting is at my house. So my house, I really love my house. It is it's a large stone ranch that I rehabbed 2 years ago, and it's really like an artist wonderland. Like it's very much like I took inspiration from um, like California bungalows. Like I really want to feel like very light, like it has a lot of pine, um, like the hardwood floors, and like everything is like very pearl colored. Like I wanted it to feel very pearly when you walked inside. So it's like everything is very light, and then you go into this one section which is my sunroom, which is like my favorite room in the house, and it's all windows, and there's like lots of crystals everywhere and lots of plants. And so we're going to do a lot of like our mastermind things there, but then we have like a couple of really cozy rooms that are like really large with like couches and things that we can relax and do like some brainstorming and like have our other parts of the retreat as well. Um, and then oh my gosh, my backyard, like literally every day I see deer in my backyard, and like in the spring there's baby deer and they're so cute. Oh my gosh. So we're definitely like in nature, and it is right next door to a 50-acre state park. So we can go there and we can sketch the streams and the trees, and do photo shoots there, and it's just going to be so dreamy. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited. And then Jessica, she said how it's very accessible to nature, but then it's also really close to a lot of really great
Hmm.
museums and more of a
Yeah.
city life. It's very accessible.
Yeah. So we're about 40 minutes from the Philadelphia Museum of Art, and then there's a couple other museums that we're going to go to that are a similar length of time away. So like really, really great museums. We're going to do a private studio tour of the Wyeths. We're going to yeah, explore Brandywine, and we're also going to do a tour of the Delaware Art Museum, and those are just a few of like the excursions we have planned. Um, and so those are kind of like the more cultural things, in addition to our more uh, like farmy wilderness kind of experiences. Not wilderness. Nobody's gonna have to like survive in the wilderness or anything.
Yeah, but we will be definitely participating in
Yeah.
nature, which will be so beautiful.
Yes. So
Yeah,
definitely
we're so
bring your vision.
excited.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, why don't we talk about how this retreat is going to be different from art retreats?
Hmm.
And I think the first thing to just put out there is that because this is for more established artists, granted, there is a range for that. But because of that, we're not necessarily going to be taking time to do like art instruction
Mhm,
classes. There will be time for you to create, but this is not a retreat where you take art classes.
mhm,
Why don't we tell them a little bit about our previous retreat experiences? Mine's a little bit more simple, and then we'll have Jessica tell you about hers.
mhm,
So I've spent about 10 days in France with a lovely group of ladies, and we had so much fun, and it was very inspiring. There was lots of time to create, lots of time to explore. And
mhm,
then I went with a best friend, so just the two of us, and we went to Scotland and
mhm,
we went to a few different places there, and that was amazing.
mhm,
But what we've talked about is that we wanted to add something to that. And I think one of the ways to really support one another is to have these opportunities, these activities where somebody kind of is leading it, right? And
mhm,
so Jessica and I, because we teach about mindset, mindfulness, and business art strategies, it's very easy for us to kind of start the conversation and also introduce some topics, and then we can work together as a group. I found that sometimes when you're in, at least in the groups that I was in, it was very fun to create and just have a good time together, and it was an escape. But we didn't necessarily, it wasn't that there was so much more that I think we could have done, and that's what we're hoping to achieve with this. But why
mhm.
don't you tell them, Jessica, a little bit more about your experiences, because yours were totally different than mine.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I just want to say every experience that I had with retreats or residencies has been 100% positive. Like I wouldn't have changed anything. And I
Right.
loved the retreats and the residencies that I went on, like just for what they were. And
Yes.
for what they are, and I would do them again. And so I just want to put that out there. Like I've loved everything experience. I've done a lot of kind of retreats. I did a class which felt like a residency in Florence at the Florence Academy of Art. So I did like a month and a half there, and that was really amazing. It was incredible. Um, and it was all about like learning techniques basically, and then there was basically no cultural guided activities except for one, which was to see Michelangelo's David, and that was really memorable. I remember like seeing that for the first time and I was like stunned. So that was like a really amazing experience. I think for me, what was missing in that experience was like, or what I wanted was like, I wanted to talk about like strategy, like for my artistic career, but it wasn't really focused on that. So that, and that's totally fine. I think I did the Chateau Orcavo residency, and that was incredible. And that was really an incredible retreat. And I highly recommend it. I think for me, I would have liked to see more cultural activities. Each one has like their strengths, right? Um,
Yeah.
and that one was like it gave you so much free time. So I did a lot of like self directed creativity, like in my studio, and this was a retreat that like provided my studio for me, and so I did so much like self directed stuff. Um, and then I did a bunch of retreats with the muses, which was amazing, and they were yeah, very inspiring for me, like very very inspiring, and like I took so much inspiration from that. I think what I would have loved is like more like painters and like
Mhm.
people who were professional artists, but it wasn't something that like had a negative effect on the residencies. It was
Sure.
just um, I kind of just like missed that, I guess. And then but I did meet a few, and that was I think those retreats were really elevating for my art career. They really helped me to inspire. They just inspired me so much. They inspired an entire body of work. So for me, those trips were more about like inspiration and also
Mhm.
like creating friendships, which I've made so many like close friendships from those. So I think for this retreat, for our retreat, what we envisioned was creating something that had a balance of like inspiration as well as like inspiring. activities and things that will just like light that fire of an artist and being like, oh my gosh, like that's so amazing, I must take a picture or I must sketch it. You know, these beautiful experiences that like are curated. And then also what we really want to create was like almost like a mastermind where we could help each other strategize our art careers. And that's
Yeah.
really why um, I think each of these, you know, retreats and residencies that we've done has like such strengths of their own. And I think what we wanted to create was like something for professional artists that was like where we can really help each other and like create this like tight knit community of like artists, like
Mhm.
painters, sculptors, like people who like this is their career. And I just want to be clear that this does not make our residency better than the other ones. Like,
Oh, no, it's just
yeah,
a
yeah,
totally different
it's
experience,
totally
and
different. Yeah.
just like you said, Jessica, each one had it was beautiful because, like, some, like you say, are very inspiring, and others are just this escape and so much fun, and
Hmm.
maybe you find wonderful friendships with them, but
Hmm.
I think for us, what happens is you've got these residencies or retreats or, like, trips where it inspires you to get started,
Hmm.
but what you've talked about, Jessica, is that when you get to a certain point in your career, you don't necessarily have time
Hmm.
to do all the things that you did before. And so what we wanted to do was take all the good that
Yeah.
each of them did and kind of put it together
Hmm.
with this idea of moving forward and
Hmm.
leveling up as a group and a mastermind.
Hmm.
And like Jessica said, we have been in a mastermind together, but we've also been in other masterminds.
Hmm.
And what I loved about them was that I was constantly meeting with the members of the group, checking in with them daily, weekly, monthly. I mean, it was a lot, but I think that what we're finding at this stage is that we don't have time for that.
Hmm.
Jessica and I don't have time for that. And we know that there are many of you out there that,
Hmm.
just like Jessica said, we want you to come and be totally filled so that the rest of the year you just feel supported. And of course, you can still reach out and connect with each other, but it's not like a requirement to be communicating and like
Yeah.
brainstorming every
Right, right,
week or
right.
whatever.
Right. It's this is like an intense, really intense focused time for professional artists to like create a customized plan to elevate their career,
Mhm.
with all of these beautiful experiences like thrown in. So it's
Exactly.
really career focused, I think. Um,
Right. And I think that when you're with a group and you're making goals and you're helping each other,
mhm,
you will have some big goals that you will not be able to achieve within a month or 6 months. It's going to be something that you're going to work on for the whole year. And
mhm,
it's going to be just absolutely incredible because we're
mhm.
going to really dive deep. We're going to go deep.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, definitely. And this is also like I want this. Like we're gonna be like facilitating it, but also like I want this. Like I would love to be part of like this like intensive artist community where we're all like really driven to get to the next level in our art careers. And some of us will be like more ahead of each other than others, but that's where the beauty of it comes in, where we all have our own like strengths and we can all help each other, you know. And so I'm really looking forward to this. It's like it's like the pre-Raphaelites, but like for girls, you know.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's so true. It's going to be great, and I feel like there's so many just opportunities, like you say. We all have strengths in different areas, and by helping each other, we'll all be able to
Hmm.
get to that next level together, and it'll be really special. So just as a basic outline, if you were to ask Jessica, what are we going to be doing? Well, there's three main things that we've kind of alluded to, but I'm going to make it really clear. There are going to be opportunities to create every day. There's going to be inspirational activities and experiences every day. And then the third thing is that we will be doing some mastermind, whether you want to call them classes or discussions, topics
Mhm.
that we will be working on to strategize every day. So all three of those things, those are kind of the core of what we've envisioned.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And so we like we said before, we want to be a mix so you don't get like burnt out with one thing. And
Mhm.
also so there's like structure every day so that
Yeah.
you are being carried through this experience and
Mhm.
get to where you want to go. So it really is for ambitious artists who want to strategize with their career
Yeah.
and want that guidance and also like that feedback, not just from us, but also from like the other peers in the group. So it really is
Mhm.
like a mastermind collective where we'll also be experiencing all these beautiful things as well. And I also just
Mhm.
want to mention that we're going to have like amazing food as well. So
Oh,
do you want to
yes.
talk about that at all?
Sure. Yeah, we can talk about that. So because Jessica's home and what is it called? The main line?
Mainline Artist Retreat House.
Yeah, so that's what she calls it. And that will be our home base, but because we will be doing all these activities during the day, we will be having lunch for the most part at Jessica's home, and they'll all be handcrafted. We're going to be making homemade salads and soups and all kinds of things, but then we might even be able to do like a picnic lunch. And of course, we're going to choose amazing restaurants for the evening.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. The restaurants, I haven't added this to our like thing yet, but I was like looking up all the different restaurants and there's some amazing, really unique restaurants that we're going to be going to. And it's going to be really, really cool and magical so that we can all share that experience together. And to me, that's like a wonderful part of the experience as well. Cause then you can kind of like, you can get to know each other in like a really lovely like low key kind of setting and just let the conversation flow because those things won't be like directed as much, you know. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Now, let's talk a little bit about how it works. So, for example, we've told you what we're looking for, but we will have an application just because we want to create the best group for those of you that are coming, meaning we just want to make sure that we give you the best opportunity to grow. And so there will be an application. And then the other thing that I would say is that we, I totally just lost my train of thought. Um, let's see. It'll come back to me. But yeah, so there is an application. And then once you're accepted, then let's talk about how much it's going to cost.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. So it's 1750 for the week, and that is split up into two. It you can pay for that in like two payments. So yeah, that's the cost for the week, and and yeah, you can find all the details about like what's covered, what's not covered, like all those details. Like you can click the link in our show notes and it'll take you right to the retreat page where you'll see all the information and all the pictures and all the details and like more details about like the area and stuff like that. And more details about like what we're going to be actually doing every day. Like we have like a sample plan there. So you can check out all the details there and see if it's something that you would be interested in that you feel like you would benefit from. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can email either me or Katrina, and we're both happy to connect with you. And we're just so excited. I feel like it's just going to be amazing. And um, yeah, just really, really beautiful. So we're really excited.
Yeah, we just want you to be able to come and feel just supported and loved and also be guided throughout the
Mhm.
week. Come with an open mind and open heart and just be ready to come and get to the next level and see your potential. And that's what we're hoping. And I think the last thing that I forgot, my mind lost. But anyways, I feel like what's also great about Jessica and I facilitating, we're hosting. And so you don't have to worry about things because it's already planned. And so that's really nice too. Sometimes it's fun to be on an adventure and not know what you're going to do that day, but it's also really nice when you're focusing on the intense things that we want to do that you can come and just be supported and led through this experience. And so again, we're just so excited to invite you to be a part of this residency mastermind and to awaken your
Yeah.
where you're at with your artistry, with your business, with your mindset, all those things. We're just so excited to take this journey with you.
Absolutely. So excited. And like, and I just wanted to add the word nurture to this as well, because I feel like
Yes.
I want this week to be very nurturing for the
Yes.
attendees and also for us. Like, yeah, time in nature. We're going to have like a sound bath. We're, we're just choosing it so that it all feels really good to like your nervous system. So,
Yeah.
so it'll be a really beautiful experience. So that is our goal. And if you want to be a part of it, we would love to hear from you. So, uh,
Wonderful.
yeah. So our deadline for applications is really March 1st. So or no, it's not March 1st. It's February 1st.
February 1st. Yeah, good
Yeah,
job.
February 1st. Yeah.
Yeah, and if it fills up before then we'll put you on a wait list.
Mhm.
We're just going to see how this goes because we think that it's got a lot of potential.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing is like I just wanted to also throw this out there. Like I'm actually like I'm not doing this for the money. Like I feel like I would do this for free. Like this is something that I just like want to experience it, you know?
Mhm.
I want to create this
Absolutely.
and the fee is really just so that we can cover our costs and make this a good experience for you guys.
Mhm.
Because it just it does take a lot to plan everything and with all the food and with all the experiences and everything. So um yeah, so it's gonna be amazing. Oh, I forgot to mention we're gonna have some guest speakers as well.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we have a couple people like in the works, but we definitely have for sure Emily Taylor Rogers. She's a social media specialist, and we have a couple people like also in the works, so that they're going to be coming in and giving us like really valuable talks as well, in addition to me.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that you're able to come and experience this area of, Jessica's world, but also a lot of times when we travel, we might have a wonderful creative happenstance interaction with a creative. But what we're going to do is we're going to set those opportunities up. You'll be able to interact with creatives in Jessica's area, which will just enrich all of us and it'll be so much fun.
Yes, can't wait.
So, oh, well, again, we're so excited. So there is a link in the show notes. You can also go to Jessica's website, which is jessicalibor.com. And there is a tab, the very first tab, it says like April retreat or something like that, right,
Oh,
Jessica?
that's on my teaching coaching
Oh, it's on
website.
your teaching.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
It's thecreativeheroines.com. Yeah.
The Creative Heroines. And if you accidentally go to Jessica Lieber's website, you just realize there's another one. But we will have all the links in the show notes. And feel
Mhm.
free to reach out to either of us if you have any questions, if you can't find something, you know, so we're so
Mhm.
excited.
Yes, we can't wait to experience this with you. It's going to be just the most magical week ever. And we're just going to be woodland fairies who are just making our dreams come true. So,
It's going
okay.
to be enchanting, absolutely enchanting.
And yeah, we can't wait to experience it. And we'll probably do another episode talking about more of the details. But for now, thank you so much for listening. And we can't wait to hear from you.
Absolutely. And thank you so much, everyone. We can't wait to spend more time with you. And much love from Jessica and I.
Bye.
Goodbye.